And because you're working with someone like Guy, you can go as big as you want, because you can trust him. You know, if you end up looking silly, he's never going to put that in the movie.
Right.
Because he knows character, he knows good storytelling, he knows movies.
Look, this movie is phenomenal. It feels like a throwback in a lot of ways to the movies I grew up with. But the cool thing about this is that not only is it entertaining, but it shines a light on something that I had no idea about. And these guys were so crucial to the war that, like, what an incredible mission. It's incredible. Now, Henry, March Phillips is a straight up badass. That dude is one of the coolest dudes around. And he's the leader, the team leader of Operation Postmaster. Can you talk about the research you did for the role, and where did the look come from and some of the mannerisms, like the sticking the tongue out while he's killing Nazis stuff, come from?
Right, so with something like this, because it's a Guy Ritchie movie, it's not going to be, I didn't approach it in the same sense as a biopic.
Sure.
Also because, I mean, these files were only declassified, what, 2016, 2018?
2016, yeah.
And a lot of these folks died during the war or shortly afterwards. And so there's not, and if they did die shortly afterwards, all the stuff they did was very secret. And so there's not much in the way of information on these people.
Sure.
And you couple that with Guy Ritchie's sense of hyperbole with his characters, and so I didn't approach it in a biopic sense. I approached it from the idea of going, who was this person? What were they like? What was their drive? And then you lean into how Guy does things.
Sure.
And Guy's way of approaching story is you have the bones of a script, and you have all the dialogue in there and everything, and it gives you an idea of what's going to happen during the scene. But the morning of is when you learn what's really going to happen to the scene. And sometimes that'll be a new monologue. And so, and you also build the character throughout. For example, we were playing Gus March Phillips as this sort of slightly cavalier, because he was definitely cavalier, that's for sure, but very English type dude. And then Guy went, when you burst into that room with Hero and you machine gun everyone down, I want you to really enjoy it, like be a bit crazy, stick your tongue out. And because you're working with someone like Guy, you can go as big as you want, because you can trust him. You know, if you end up looking silly, he's never going to put that in the movie.
Right.
Because he knows character, he knows good storytelling, he knows movies. And so you get to that point where you go, right, I'm going to go as big as I want. And I went big, and he's like, this is perfect. It's great. And then we lent into that, and that became part of the character. That sense of English decorum or British decorum, and also that little bit of madness, which makes missions like this possible.
We both know that I'm not very popular with the administration.
The reason they find you unattractive is the very reason I find you attractive.
Now, Alex, Apple is the strategist of the team, and he's not, if Gus Phillips wants him in the mission, he's going to the mission. Tell me what you wanted to bring to the role that wasn't on the page.
Just leaning into what, Henry said, when you work on a Guy Ritchie film, you're collaborating with Guy in a very unique way. He is this conductor, this maestro, where this collaborative experience, you're making the film and creating the character as you're going along. It's a really magical experience, so spontaneous that kind of allows you to have like this peak of, I can't even explain it or articulate it into words, because I've never had an experience like this before. You know, as an actor, you prep, you take as much time prior to making the film to do your research or whatever skill set you need. But walking onto this film, you know, you are in this heightened reality and you are in this Guy Ritchie world, and he is navigating you and the character that he wants you to play, that he's specifically chose you for, that he knows and can see that you can execute. So this spontaneity is really down, or this character is really down to the navigation of Guy. You know?
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Now, Hero, you play Hayes. He's the sailor of the team. He also looks at March Phillips almost as like a mentor. Can you tell me a little bit more about that character and the camaraderie amongst your cast members that you guys kind of created on set? Because you guys, the energy and chemistry is off the chain in this movie.
Yeah, again, that's credit to guys. These guys have said. And you do kind of learn, I mean, every film you do, you kind of learn who your character is as you go, but especially with the Guy Ritchie movie. And yeah, it felt right. There's a parallel because I'm looking up to all of these guys as actors as well. And being the youngest one in the crew, it really made sense for me to, you know, make sure Hayes is very, very competent, and you know, if he was to be challenged, he would back himself.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think he's very happy being, you know, the slightly of man of fewer words, and he would do he'll get the job done through his actions, and I think he's very reliable. And yeah, I think there's something very kind of noble and respectable about that trait in him. I thought of kind of like not needing to prove himself in any way. I think he's very self-assured, and yeah, he looked up to these guys, that's for sure, specifically Mark Phillip.
Incredible job on this film, guys. I loved it. Like I said, this is like a throwback, but it's so educational for people to know about these folks. Man, incredible job.